Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. Got a sore throat today, so we'll see how long this lasts. Gonna try to get through everything, but it is what it is, and I'll get through what I can get through. So, how is everyone today? Um, so at any rate, let me close some windows. Got way too many open. Alrighty, there we go. And ooh, excuse me, there is no comment of the week today. Uh, excuse me. Um, my debunk should be out tomorrow. If it's not out tomorrow for my members, it'll be out Monday for my members, Tuesday for everyone else. If you want to become a member, you can do so for as low as 99 cents a month. That gets you early access to debunks, and it also gets you custom emojis. And with that out of the way, we will get on with um, making fun of the interpretation of the Bible that I grew up with. Okay, so I don't say this, excuse me, I don't say this often enough. I really should at the beginning of each of these Saturday live streams, but I don't. And I keep forgetting to, which is my fault. But I really mean no disrespect to the Jews and their holy book. Um, I am lashing out against the interpretation, excuse me, of the Jewish scriptures that I grew up with, which, to be fair, is probably not going to be the true interpretation of the Jewish scriptures, because the Christians have changed the Jewish scriptures to say whatever it is they want the Jewish scriptures to say in order for the, oh goodness, um in order for um the scripture the in order for the Jewish scriptures to fit Jesus as the Messiah. So just keep about. Yeah, I know. I'm yawning a lot. I'm sorry about that. All right, now share screen. All right, make sure you can see it, and you can. Okay, so let's get going, and we are rolling right along in the incomprehensible mess of Christianity. We are in Nehemiah. Now, Cyrus has already given the Jews a path back to Jerusalem, and they are basically rebuilding stuff. So that's where we are. Chapter 1. The words of Nehemiah, son of Hekeliah, in the month of Kislev in the 20th year, while I was in the citadel of Susa, Hanani, one of my brothers, came from Judah with some other men, and I questioned them about the Jewish remnant that had survived the exile and also about Jerusalem. They said to me, those who survived, excuse me, those who survived the exile and are back in the province are in great trouble and disgrace. The wall of Jerusalem is broken down and its gates have been burned with fire. Okay, so at this point in time, city gates were very important um, because they were protection for the city. Otherwise, anybody could just, storm the city and raid it. And obviously, that's not what you wanted. Now, not all cities were walled. Only the more important cities were walled. But that's a story for another day. Just a minute. Okay, so anyway, and of course the rural areas weren't walled either. Um, so it just depends on whether you lived on as to whether or not your city was walled or not. Jerusalem was a pretty important city because it was the capital. So, yeah, it would have had a wall. Hey, scapegoat. Just a minute. How's it going, scapegoat? So, like I said, most of the cities were walled at this time. Um, that's how we know, like, what cities were and were not inhabited. Well, I mean, we know by like stratigraphy and stuff, but we also know like by um like pottery. Different eras had um different styles of pottery. Kind of like you can know something was made, kind of like you can know a piece of art was made in the 60s. And if you want to get really technical, how you can know that a work of art was made by Andy Warhol, something like that. Thank you, scapegoat. Appreciate that. All right, so moving on. When I heard these things, I sat down and wept. For some days I mourned and fasted and prayed before the God of heaven. Then I said, Lord, the God of heaven, the great and awesome God who keeps his covenant of love with those who love him and keep his commandments, let your ear be attentive and your eyes open to hear the prayer of your servant is praying before you day and night for your servants, the people of Israel. I confess the sins we Israelites, including myself and my father's family, have committed against you. We have acted very wickedly toward you. We have not obeyed the commands, decrees, and laws you gave your servant Moses. Why is it that everyone has to suck up to God? Or they feel like they've got to suck up to God? You know? Um, on chapter 1, verse 8, so not too far into it, scapegoat. So, why does everyone feel that they need to suck up to God? I mean, seriously, I never even thought of this until I got out of Christianity, right? But if God's as great as he's always bragging is, right? If God's really that great, why the fuck does he need humans to tell him how great he is? Why the fuck does he need us humans to suck his dick all the time? Does that make any sense? All right, moving on. Remember the instruction you gave your servant Moses, saying, if you are unfaithful, I will scatter you among the nations. But if you return to me and obey my commands, then even your exiled people are at the farthest horizon. I will gather them from there and bring them to the place I have chosen as a dwelling for my name. They are your servants and your people, whom you redeemed by your great strength and your mighty hand. Now, this sounds a lot like an abuser to me. Well, you're the one that made me do this, after all. Now, come on over here and I'll tend your wounds that I inflicted on you. Verse 11, Lord, let your ear be attentive to the prayer of this your servant and to the prayer of your servants who delight in revering your name. Give your servant success today by granting him favor in the presence of this man. I was cupbearer to the king. Chapter 2, in the month of Nisan, in the 20th year of King Artaxerxes, when wine was brought for him, I took the wine and gave it to the king. I had not been sad in his presence before, so the king asked me, why does your face look so sad when you are not ill? This can be nothing but sadness of heart. I was very much afraid, but I said to the king, may the king live forever. Why should my face not look sad when the city where my ancestors are buried lies in ruins and its gates have been destroyed by fire? The king said to me, what is it you want? Then I prayed to the God of heaven, and I answered the king, if it pleases the king, and if your servant has found favor in his sight, let him send me to the city of Judah where my ancestors are buried, so that I can rebuild it. Then the king, with the queen sitting next to him, asked me, how long will your journey take and when will you get back? It pleased the king to send to me, so I set a time. I also said to him, if it pleases the king, may I have letters to the governor of Trans-Euphrates, so that it will provide me safe conduct until I arrive in Judah. And may I have a letter to Asaph, keeper of the royal park, so he will give me timber to make beams for the gates of the citadel by the temple and for the city wall and for the residence I will occupy. And because the gracious hand of my God was on me, the king granted me my request. So I went to the governors of Trans-Euphrates and gave them the king's letters. The king had also sent army officers and cavalry with me. When Sanballat and Horonite and Tobiah, the Ammonite official, heard about this, they were very much disturbed that someone had come to promote the welfare of the Israelites. I went to Jerusalem, and after staying there 3 days, I set out during the night with a few others. I had not told anyone what my God had put in my heart for me to do for Jerusalem. There were no mounts with me except the one I was riding on. By night, I went through the valley gate toward the Jackal Well and the Dung Gate, examining the walls of Jerusalem, which had been broken down, and its gates which had been destroyed by fire. Then I moved on toward the Fountain Gate and the King's Pool, but there was not enough room for my mount to get through, so I went up the valley by night, examining the wall. Finally, I turned back and re entered through the valley gate. The officials did not know where I had gone or what I was doing, because as yet I had said nothing to the Jews or priests or nobles or officials or any others who would be doing the work. Then I said to them, "You see the trouble we are in. Jerusalem lies in ruins, and its gates have been burned with fire. Come, let us rebuild the wall of Jerusalem, and we will no longer be in disgrace." I also told them about the gracious hand of my God on me and what the king had said to me. They replied, "Let us start rebuilding." So they began their good work. But when Sanballat the Hornite and Tobiah the Ammonite official and Geshem the Arab heard about it, they mocked and ridiculed us. "What is this you are doing? Are you rebelling against the king?" I answered them by saying, "The God of heaven will give us success. We, his servants, will start rebuilding, but as for you, you have no share in Jerusalem or any claim or historic right to it." Okay. And my throat is getting kind of sore. And I'm yarning the bejesus out of this live stream, so I'm just going to stop it right there. I did cover 1 through 2, so good on me. Um, don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment in the comment section for the algorithm, and hopefully I will see you later. And I may be on here again later on. I don't know. It depends if I can quit yawning or not. And it depends if I can wake the fuck up. Alrighty. It's okay, scapegoat. So, yeah. Um, so again, comment, like, all that good stuff. Please join if you can. You can join for as low as 99 cents a month. You get early debunks, and you also get custom emojis. And I will see you guys later. Bye.